Hello and welcome to me going through yet another bunch of records. As you can tell from the thing up there or wherever, it's to do with one of the 80s artists that I actually quite enjoyed at the time and still do. And I think he's got a new album out, actually. But anyway, it's Nik Kershaw. And so I thought, well, I'll just go through some of the singles that I have of his, and so I do a bit of an opiniony thing, which is what I do sometimes. And the first one is two Nicks. For this, wouldn't it be good? Oh, I wonder if he's related to Johnny. So, how would you put that? Stevie Nicks, maybe? It's a bit like when I do those interviews with myself, actually. But that's that clip of where he was the alien running around with all these things all over him. I think I'd want to run away too if I had things all over me like that. And next up is the UK version of Dancing Girl, or Dancing Girls. So, whatever they are, they're dancing. And he's climbing something. The ladder to success. And next up is the Australian pressing of I Won't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Now, people really honestly did think that the lyrics were I won't let your sun go down on me. It's completely different hotspots, that one. And well, I suppose it depends on what time of year, I guess. And the poster, here we go. And as always, oh yeah, we just as always, these never went up on the wall. These always remained in the record collection. And one of these days, I'm going to pull these out, and because it's remained folded for so long, a tear along the line. In actual fact, just flipping this around, if you can just see the white things there, it is starting to weaken there. So I think I better fold Nik up and... What's that? Okay. Let's... On the other side, you've got this. A green city. I think it's meant to represent the world. Don't know. Whatever it is, it's green and it's big, and he's singing about not wanting it to go down on him. How nice. The other thing with Nik too is that he would do, quite often would do specific B-sides to his singles, and some of them were a bit kind of experimental in nature sometimes, and the B-side to this one was just, yeah, we kind of liked it back in the day, through dark glasses, very interesting. But you expect that with some of the B-sides back in the 80s. They would do their own thing, bit of experiments. Next up is the UK, yes, is the UK copy of Human Racing. Yes, that's right. That's what happens when you got what looks like bowling pins there. Maybe that's the idea. Look like they're channeling Dexy's Midnight Runners there, actually. So it's gone from Dancing Girls to Human Racing. I wonder what the prize is at the end. Something gold, probably. And cue some Spandau Ballet. Gold, gold, always believe in your soul. I did that literally. And next up is the Riddle. And the story goes is that he didn't have lyrics for it, so he just kind of did a David Bowie type thing and just sang the first thing that came into his head. And then when it came time to actually write lyrics for it, it was like, oh no, that'll do. Don't need to do any more there, Nik. No, okay. But it's got that kind of 80s thing happening of your trousers, your shiny trousers being buckled up above the hips, Yes, that was the trend, and your big great coat, and and the other side of this is him in what post-apocalyptic reading a newspaper. Uh, well, whatever newspaper it is with that background, it would have to be one of the Murdoch ones, wouldn't it? That's what he wants to do to the world. Since he doesn't believe in climate change, that's what will happen to that tree. That thing about how people will read it in the newspaper and don't act on it. Next up is, just checking, not the UK version of White Boy, the Australian version. And what happened here? Oh dear. I bought this new. No, I didn't. I can't remember. Whatever it is, the glue on the side. And that happens sometimes too. Sometimes they just haven't done it well, or the one that I got it from hadn't stored it properly and it was in the heat or something. Don't know. Because he no big deal. He just a wide boy. And of course here it was not so because I didn't know the meaning of it. So we thought wide boy meant someone who was a bit overweight. So I copped that one a little bit. So yeah, he no big deal. He's just a wide boy. He's just someone who's rather overweight. Oh, okay. And speaking of wide boys, here's another one from the UK. And this one has a booklet and the lyrics too. And said booklet has, again, that apocalyptic photo there. Now, let me try and turn these without hopefully not hearing a rip. Oh, here we are. There's some outtakes from Smash Hits pinups. Look at that. Smash Hits. No, that would be Smash Hits. That'd be number one. That would be the 2-page pinup, probably for TV Week or something. And once again, we've got that lovely thing of above the waist. That was so uncomfortable, but it was the trend. You needed to have the body for it too, which I didn't have. Oh, there we are, him live. That would have been probably the Hammersmith. Everything was recorded at the Hammersmith Odeon, wasn't it? And here he is in some deserted house, probably on set of Wouldn't It Be Good, with that thing, the other trend there of rolling up your short sleeves. Bruce Springsteen does it on the Dancing in the Dark thing, but for some reason, instead of wearing a singlet or something, no, we had to roll up the sleeves. And that's his band. There we are, the crew, I think he called them, but that's the band. And there he is, looking like he's lost his canoe. And yeah, there we are. He's thrown away his newspaper and he's decided enough's enough, so he'll sit down instead. Maybe he just couldn't solve the crossword and was like, that's enough, fling. Yeah. That sounds fair enough. That makes sense. And next up, we've got Don Quixote at the height of his mullet there. And I don't quite know what to say about that. He's obviously still trying to get that vibe of the Riddle happening. He's thrown away his newspaper and he's definitely looking for somewhere. Maybe he's looking for Don Quixote. You wouldn't be able to do that clip these days either, with him leaning over from the back seat without a seatbelt and the whole thing. Oh my God, the protests and petitions and stuff like that. Oh, lordy. And next up is When a Heart Beats. Probably one of the worst guitar solos I think I've ever heard on record comes from this record. This it is absolutely. I'm sorry, it is absolutely awful that anyone thought that that could possibly get on vinyl. Um, yeah, ugh. But obviously decided no, the Don Quixote mullet really didn't look so good, so we'll just cut our hair back. Next up is Nobody Knows. Well, nobody knows, but it's not this nose, it's that nose. Question mark. But it's a big band nose. They look very happy. A bit too happy. Why? Nobody knows. But on the other side, he's deciding to be a bit camera shy. Oh well. Maybe the flashes were just too bright. Of the camera, not other flashes. Goodness me. You never know though. And the B-side to this, one of our fruit machines is missing, is awful. Once again, I think he was just doing one of those experimental B-sides and it's just like, oh no. And next up is the title track for Radio Musicola called Radio Musicola. And I wonder if it's a play on words about sort of things sponsored by soft drink companies and stuff like that. Hence Radio Musicola. And there's a lot of nicks there, isn't there? And lucky last, we've got One Step Ahead. Now, it's not a cover of the Split Enz song, which I honestly thought when I bought the thing, I was like, oh. And then when I looked inside and it had N Kershaw, no, it had Nik Kershaw. Whichever way, it was N Kershaw. And that was from the Works LP, and by that stage she'd kind of faded a little bit. I wouldn't say people weren't interested in him anymore, but it was just, he kind of took a bit too long for this to come out, and it was kind of, I don't know whether it was a case of people had forgotten about him or didn't like the songs or something like that. I don't quite know. Alright, well, that's it for that and that. Thank you very much for watching, and if you did like this, please do all the likes and subscribes and all of that kind of stuff and everything. And poor Humphrey is a bit out of sight on this one. There we are. And above all else, please take care of yourself, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Ciao. Yeah, I'll go that way for once. Fall off the edge of the thing. Ah! Wouldn't it be good to be in your shoes? Even if... Wouldn't it be good to be in your slippers? Doesn't really kind of gel, does it? Oh well. Wouldn't it be good? No, I don't think so. Alright.